So here's our setup. We have the cassette 4-track with drums, 2 guitars and a bass laid down. I'm actually running through this 606 effects pedal, guitar effects pedal. I'm just putting on a limiter and a small amount of reverb and running it back through into the tape. Then I can dial in the amount of effects that I want on each channel. So just giving it a bit of a lift with a little bit of reverb. We're going to do a mix down onto the laptop, onto Audacity, because it's the easiest to use and the most, well, because I've got a very cheap laptop, there's not a lot of lag and latency, so that's what we're going to use. By the way, this is second hand and very cheap. This is second hand, very cheap. This was second hand, very cheap. These were new many years ago, but as you can see, they're knackered now, and that's what we're using. So I'll give you a small demonstration on the amount of reverb I'm going to use. If you play the tape and then stop it, you can hear the echo of the reverb and you sort of get a sense of the room size. So So now we're coming out of the tape deck and we've got our line into the laptop and we're on record. Press play and check the levels. Now we're going to go the other way around and we'll play it from what we've recorded onto the laptop back onto, further on in the tape, back onto channels 1 and 2 on stereo. I'm just recording onto 3 and 4 just to clear them because I had some old recordings on there, and we've set all the levels back to 0, so it's just a clean record onto tape. Right, it's time to lay down the vocal track, and because of the limitations of the 4-track, what we're going to need to do is actually record the first vocal line onto track 3 and then bounce that down to track 4 while singing the second overdub. So track 4 will get the live recording plus the previous recording layered on top, so we've got a double track vocal, and then that leaves us 3, which will have the guitar solo, and then we'll see after that if we need to mix down and do it all over again. But the problem is every time you mix down you get tape hiss added to the track and compression, which can be good, but sometimes it can be a little bit over the top if that's not what you're looking for, or perhaps you get dropouts or you get sort of pumping. So you need to watch what you're doing and test it every time. It's a bit of a long-winded process, but that's what we're going to do now. What I'm using for the vocals is a Stag MD 1500 dynamic microphone, and it looks very much like an SM58. I've just got a foam thing over the top, but I got this years and years ago. It's very, very cheap. I don't know, 15 quid or something, but it works perfectly fine. Really like solid, rugged. So we're going to use this compressor. It's a Focusrite, and it has these presets. We're going to set it to vocal but I have manually adjusted some of the settings as well. So we've got tube sound on, the attack is fast and release is slow. Turn the ratio up, compression up. You've got to put quite a lot of input gain for this microphone, and some makeup gain as well. And then that's running into this very, very crap, cheap ASR EQ. Oh, by the way, the compressor doesn't work half the time. If you turn it on, it just doesn't. It all gets screwed up. So it was only about 30 quid second hand, but it's basically, I've only bought it a few weeks ago, but it's basically junk already. And the EQ is pretty bad as well. But we've had to do quite some very drastic adjustments to this microphone, just because it's quite harsh at the top end. And so I've taken down 4K and 2.5 and what is that, 6.3 and all that. And the main problem with recording onto this tape, I find, or generally of my equipment, is about 160. There's that boominess you get from the 160 frequency is pretty much on everything that I use, so I always cut that, and that's pretty much it. Then that goes straight into the tape deck. So here's our first vocal take.
It's so simple. Write the lines you want the world to hear. It's so simple. It's true.
And now here is the vocal recorded onto track 4 from track 3 and overdubbed with a second vocal line. And actually reverse the polarity of the microphone, just to make it a little bit clearer on the two takes. And this is what it sounds like.
It's so simple. Write the lines you want the world to hear. It's so simple. It's true. It's so easy. Joke and laugh and end up with a smile. Hide the demons inside. Smear the makeup. Close yourself inside.
It's time to record the guitar solo now. We're going through the Behringer Super Fuzz into the Vox and into the tape deck. Oh, it's night time, by the way, now. And this takes a long time, I'll tell you what. And because we're going directly in, we don't need to worry about monitoring through the headphones, so we can play it live through the speakers. And yeah, so away we go. So now basically the mix is done, so I'll just play you what I've got, a rough version, before I get the levels right, and I'll just record it with the microphone here, so you won't get the stereo view of it, but you just get a rough idea of what the mix is going to sound like.
laugh and end up with a smile.